It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see on a two-bird screen. I like to give my unique perspective because after 47 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a unique perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I like to tell about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Dubai. Got some plays over in Dubai this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo rabah. And Dubai, I've always wanted to fly to your city and check it out. It looks absolutely magnificent. So one of these days, I'm going to fly over to Dubai, chill, hang out, see the sights, and just embrace and enter and appreciate the greatness of your awesome city. So thanks for listening, gracias, gratitude, and just FYI, back in the day I went to school to be a radio DJ, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just didn't have the determination. If I would have had the determination, then maybe that would enable me to become a radio DJ. But it didn't, and it allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Something to debate, might be true, might not be true, but I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix. Microphones, speakers, cords, screens. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. Anybody's gonna ramble all day, but it won't. Let's get right to the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, do you like rap? Well, if you like rap music, recording artist SonZu Cosmic dropped his latest album called Evolve Not Devolve. It's SonZu Cosmic, the lover of hot fries, the spitter of cosmic raps, dropping his cosmic rap style over dope hip-hop beats. So if you want to hear some rhymes and some beats like you've never heard in your life, check out SonZu Cosmic over his new album, Evolve Not Devolve. I guarantee you, it's going to be very interesting, something unique. You probably never heard it, and you'll be like, wow, this is absolutely madness. So check out Evolve Not Devolve. I'll put the link below. Now, let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back once again. In last episode, I told you I was triggered and feeling emotional. Now it is past, and now things are all good once again. I've talked about that many times on this podcast. It's like a roller coaster, at least with the Captain. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. I've said it many times on this podcast. I was just revisiting one of my old ones and said the exact same thing. Because in my life, as I go through life and progress and move down the timeline, these are things I experience. You might relate. You'd be like, yeah, bro, I know what you're saying. Today I felt absolutely magnificent. Yesterday I felt like crazy or emotional, whatever. It's just how it goes, bro. Our minds are very interesting, crazy places that go through many different thoughts and ideas flowing through the brain. Just how it works. My mind is no different. So anyway, things are good. Just a little bit hot, but no complaint. I appreciate the warmth of the earth, the warmth of the sun. I appreciate it because in a few months, it's going to be cold and snowing. It'll be like, damn, it's too cold, bro. So I'll appreciate the heat while we got it because it'll be cold soon. No disrespect, winter, but it's coming. So anyways, yes. So I'm here. No monkey mind. Feeling better. A little hot. Whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter. It's time to podcast. And this week, I'm going to talk about my most favorite franchise in the universe once again. And if you've been here before, you know exactly what I'm about to say. But if you have not, my favorite franchise in the entire multiverse, universe, mirror universe, space, time, earth, whatever, is the one and only. Beam me up, Scotty. Live long and prosper. Make it so. I'm talking about the one and only Star Trek. And this week, I got to see Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Subspace Rhapsody. But before I get into Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Subspace Rhapsody, a couple things. First of all, there will be spoilers. Second of all, I do own some shares in the parent company of Star Trek. I just want to be clear and transparent to let you know. Now that I told you that, let's get into Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, Subspace Rhapsody. I'm just going to flat out say this from the jump. Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, Subspace Rhapsody was absolutely madness. There is no other way to describe Subspace Rhapsody other than madness, and I mean this in the most best possible way. When I say madness, it is not derogatory. When I say madness, it is absolutely dope to me. Like, that's my substitute for dope or lit or fire. I say madness because to be dope to me, you gotta be a little crazy, a little weird, a little out there, a little unique, and madness covers that. And this episode is the first time Star Trek has went to the musical format, and to me, they hit it out the park. I loved every moment of it. It was absolutely beautiful. It was great. What I love about Star Trek for many years is they're able to tell different tales and explore different genres through the TV shows. The movies not so much, but the TV shows, yes. TV shows, they can explore different genres through the show. And that's what's so lovely about it. I just like it that they finally went the musical route. Right? It just, they've never done it. When it comes to movies, TV, sports, and flicks, I'm looking for new, unique ways of doing art, right? Blending and putting things together that haven't been done before. That's how I like doing things with this podcast and my art, and I like seeing other people do that. It is beautiful they took Star Trek, sci-fi, right, this franchise we love, and blended it with a musical. Like whoever thought of that idea, to me, it's pure genius. Like, let's do more of that. Let's blend things that wouldn't necessarily go together. You don't think Star Trek and musical would go together? Like, no way. Like, they're in the writing room, like, you're gonna do that? Don't do that, man. Like, no, let's do that. Let's boldly go and explore new creative endeavors. This is what Star Trek is all about, exploration. And we're exploring genres and sci-fi and art and theater, and we're exploring all types of different ways of entertaining. And they did it. They're bending space-time with their creations. I appreciate it immensely. It was absolutely lovely to see these characters sing the songs they sing. Beautiful episode. So if you've not seen it, go see it. Now, what I want to do right now is dive a little deeper, like I do every episode, find a little thing about the episode I like, and just explore it a little bit more and see what lessons can be learned from Star Trek this week. Because every episode, there's lessons to be learned. So let's go deeper into Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, Subspace Rhapsody. So in the episode, La'an discovers about the singing that could be a security risk. Through the course of the episode, after analyzing the singing, when they go into singing, she's like, you know what? This may be a security risk. And Pike's like, what? Why is it a security risk? Because when they go into singing, they reveal some deep inner thoughts in the singing. They're more truthful. They're more expressing the realness inside. And sometimes when you're navigating life, you gotta hold those thoughts in and hold back, because sometimes you walk through life, you do not want to do that because it'll put you in a perilous, disadvantaged, maybe dangerous state, right? So Leanne's like, hey bro, this is a little dangerous because we're being a little truthful when we sing. So basically what she's saying is when they become emotional, they start to sing and they start to express their most inner thoughts and beliefs, right? Now I thought about in the real world, sometimes when we get emotional, this does happen. And I went on the net to do a little research, a little short 10-minute research, to see if I could find some studies that explore this idea that this is true in real life. I could not find any studies right away that indicated that being emotional caused you to reveal more true inner thoughts, but I didn't do that deep a dive. I'm sure if I dive just a little bit deeper, I probably can find some scientific studies or research papers that were done on this very topic. But just from looking at the show and thinking about it, I believe there probably is some truth to when you're emotional, you do reveal things you might not reveal, right? A lot of times when people are interviewing people or they're talking, reporters, whatever, you do see them try to approach the questions and the speech to get them a little off balance, to be a little emotional, because just maybe they'll just reveal a little more juicier tidbits to the tale story narrative, right? Probably true. So what can we learn from this episode? Well, as you navigate life and try to be better than you are, to explore new territories, and to just expand your abundance through all ways you can expand it, maybe being emotional is not the best way to do it. Now, personally, the captain is okay with being emotional. I'm good with it, but only in certain areas and places am I okay with that. Generally in public, you will not see me being emotional. I just don't do that. I don't feel it's the proper place to do that. Behind closed doors, I'm all by myself, you best believe the captain cried, the captain got mad, the captain had all types of emotions. I explored these emotions all the time in the solitude of my own space and just kind of explored the ideas and feelings. But in real life, I didn't feel it was necessary. In real life, I kind of be Spock, but behind closed doors, emotional at times, because I feel that's a good place to explore it. Now, you may follow this method, maybe you don't. Maybe you feel that being emotional out in public is the way to go, and being emotional all the time is the way to go. Maybe that's okay. It might be. I don't know. I just kind of feel that maybe if you do that, you may reveal more things than you should, and maybe certain individuals that aren't looking after your best interests might use that to their advantage to somehow manipulate you. That would put you at a disadvantage or not a good place, right? So maybe the lesson to be learned is to really be more Spock-like in public and really to be mindful of the emotions we feel, how we express those emotions, when to amp them up, when to turn them down. Just be more mindful overall of how we feel in our mind and body and how to maybe communicate when we're in those places. So when we're emotional, let's really monitor how we express ourselves in those emotions. There's a time and place to go full force, let the emotions out. And there's a time and place to maybe rein them in just a bit, right? And that's the lesson I saw in Star Trek this week. I don't know how you operate in the world. I don't know where you live in the world or who you are. I don't know how old you are, but we all have emotions. We all experience them and we all deal with them differently, right? A lot of times I do express them and let them out through art, through bag work, through exercise. And I feel it's a healthy way for me to express them and maybe not just go all out in public all over the place. That's just the way I move and the way I operate. Maybe you have an entirely different method. But in the show, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, in the episode, they said that when you're emotional, more truth's coming out. And if you're totally fine and transparent and okay with all your truths being on the table all the time, constantly, in all scenarios and situations, then maybe that's the way to go. Be very emotional. Just let it out all the time. I'm 100% real truth all the time. Constantly just letting it full force go. But you ever seen Dave Chappelle's When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong? When keeping it real goes wrong, because those emotions are just coming out and just letting it out and just spitting it all out. And gets put in a bad place. So I don't know. Do what you want with the lessons from Trek this week. Maybe go all out emotional all the time. It works for you. I just feel that there's a time and place for all things. And there's a time and place to be emotional. Let them all loose. There's a time to rein it in and hold it back. That's the way I move and operate. Maybe it's the right way, maybe it's not. But that is what I saw on Star Trek this week. Yeah, emotions, right? How to deal with them. What to do with them. How to handle them. Are we telling truth and emotional? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, also, the episode was absolutely fantastic. And just to touch on the episode itself, the singing was great. I like the songs, I like the music. The dancing was great. And let me just be full transparency. I don't really like musicals that much, to be completely honest with you. I'm not into them. I've only watched a handful of them. Just not my thing. But I think maybe what it's been is I've not seen a musical in stuff that I'm interested in. It's just like back in the day when my teacher had me read books. I wasn't a big reader back in the day because my teacher was like, hey, read this. And I was wasn't into the stories or the characters. But once I found a genre of stories and characters I liked, I read them like crazy. So maybe that's with the musicals. Like I just hadn't found the right theme or subject or characters I liked. And when they Star Trek did the musical, I was all in. Maybe there should be more sci-fi musicals, and I'd be all in. Maybe there are, and I'm just not aware of them. And like I said, I'm not really a big fan of musicals, and I feel maybe I'm just not seeing the right musicals. So maybe I should explore musicals more often. I don't know. But I just want to say this: this episode was absolutely madness and fantastic. And if you've not seen Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I highly recommend you go check it out. In fact, this week I was talking to this gentleman. I was like, bro, Strange New Worlds is absolutely fantastic. You should check it out. He went and checked it out. And he said it was great, right? I'm not lying, bro. It's wonderful. And if you've not seen any Star Trek at all, I highly recommend you go down the rabbit hole and binge it all because it is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, this concludes the podcast. Star Trek Strange New Worlds was absolutely dope. And until next time, we'll see you. You must begin to think of yourself as becoming the person you want to be. David Viscott. Until next time, this is Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.